Some Ford truck owners are upset by this thing. Ford is offering $100 credit to them about a problem.
It has to do with their gas engine, right?
Yes. So what we're talking about here in this video is owners of Super Duty chassis cabs, motorhome engines, with the new Godzilla 7.3 liter gas V8. Ford, in some marketing and communications, and actually communications that we relate to customers, potential customers, they overstated the horsepower of this engine for commercial chassis trucks
Okay,
by
so
15 horsepower.
15?
15. And now Ford is trying to make good on this by offering $100 to those owners who bought vehicles with these engines because they thought these engines were making 350 horsepower because of the marketing materials and also what we've discussed in 2020 and 2021.
Right.
But it's actually making less power.
Okay, so why don't we go to we got a letter, right?
Yes, we got a letter.
Okay.
So at least 2 owners have contacted us recently about this problem. And so we want to communicate to you, and just to bring it up to light, right? So here's the letter. This letter, one of our viewers, Jim Reed, received, and it's dated December 2023. It's related to his Ford F-350 chassis cab. This is a commercial vehicle, by the way. This is not a consumer truck that you buy with a pickup bed.
Yeah, gotcha.
This is basically a working vehicle.
Yeah, got it.
And it says right here, at Ford Motor Company, we are committed to not only to building high-quality, dependable products, but also to building a community of happy and satisfied customers. To demonstrate that commitment, we are providing a $100 credit for your vehicle with the VIN number above. The marketing material for this vehicle, blah, 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 with a premium rated 7.3 liter engine, incorrectly overstated the power rating by 15 horsepower and 150 engine RPM. So basically what Ford is saying, sorry, we miscommunicated this number. Your engine doesn't make that power. It makes 15 horsepower less. And to make it up to you, we're going to offer $100. But do you want to hear what Jim had to say?
Sure.
Okay, so Jim.
Jim is the guy one of the people who reached out to us.
Yeah, he's one of the owners. Jim says this, I'm writing in regard to this letter. The letter starts out by offering $100 as Ford is committed to having happy, satisfied customers. The letter goes on to state that the HP rating was incorrectly overstated. Yes. It offends me that Ford thinks it's all even Steven when they lied to me about the purchase north of $65,000. So his truck cost him about $65,000.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is what James Reed says.
Okay. A couple quick questions
Yes.
before does this affect towing or any of the ratings in general?
No. So actually none of this, according to this letter, according to what we know, none of this affects either payload or towing.
Okay.
So, but apparently Jim and some other customers, well, in fact Jim, because he contacted us with this, he expected something and he didn't get it. And then this letter does not make him feel better. Would this letter make you feel better if you were a customer like this?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. It would almost be better that Ford not offer him a paltry $100. I wouldn't offer anything. I think it would be less insulting that way. Look, I know Ford's trying to make good, and I appreciate the fact that they are, and they're not just burying their heads in the sand or trying to, kick the can down the road, okay?
Sure.
But at the same time, somebody who's blowing really good money on what most likely is a truck for his business.
Yeah, this is a chassis cab that I'm sure James really works with every day.
Right. And to get an incorrect reading, I would just rather hear about it than be given something so small. And I'm not even trying to sound like I'm greedy. I'm just saying don't even offer that. You know what I mean? Because it's like under tipping somebody at a restaurant because you're insulted with them or something like that, right? It's almost like I wouldn't do it. Personally speaking, it's not enough, A, and B, this isn't enough of an apology. I would like to get some technical information as to why, if I'm a customer, because, and you know this to be true, people who buy vehicles like this are very interested in the numbers and interested in tech.
Exactly. So my take on this is I am happy that this doesn't affect payloads or towing,
I am too.
right? Because if I'm working with my vehicle and it all of a sudden had 200, 300, 400, 500 pounds less payload, wow.
Yeah.
I would be foaming at the mouth because I make money by moving things with my truck and now it has less than I thought. That would be a huge deal.
That could be a real issue.
In my mind, losing about 4.5% of power, which is what this
That's
is.
what it comes out to.
350. By the way, you're probably wondering, how do I know it's 350, right?
Yeah.
So in 2020, we wrote a story right here. We worked with at the Ford facility, and we wrote a story that this engine produces 350 horsepower and 468 pound-feet of torque. I wrote this after
Riding in the motorhome chassis.
on February 9th, 2020.
Okay.
So I was communicating with Ford.
Yes,
Explain
you were
to me.
filtering, which
Yeah.
is our job.
Yeah, which is our job because we communicate. We also test this, right?
Yeah.
So we tested the new engine versus the old engine, and Ford was very gracious. They did the whole event just for us.
Yeah.
This was wonderful, and we showed real world what these engines were doing. Now, if you look at their website now,
Have they already corrected the numbers?
yeah, but this is for 2024.
Right.
335 horsepower and 400. So the torque wasn't
Torque is the
affected.
same,
Yeah,
right?
torque
Okay.
is the same.
Okay. So, but this could, in theory, affect your acceleration.
Yes. So if Jim, let's say he's towing a trailer and he's merging on a highway up a grade, he may not be accelerating as much as he could have, as he thought, right? Because he has less power.
Yeah, but there are many things that we have to add to that caveats. We don't know for sure. Could be seat of the pants. Maybe you'd be able to tell. Maybe you wouldn't be able to tell. 4.5% is
not a huge amount.
It's not a huge amount, but it is an amount. If it was like 2%, I'd be like, whatever. But 4%, it's creeping up there a little bit. I think the bottom line here is that we have dissatisfied customers who are a little upset about the fact that they were given a $100 check or a $100 credit,
Yeah.
actually, from Ford. And my response to that is, I get it. Ford was trying to be the good guy, but I think that their communications needs a little bit of work, and I don't think $100 is going to work.
Yeah, I guess it could have been handled a little bit differently,
Right.
as evidenced by the letter, or at least two people who communicated to us. So once again, this affects 2021 through 2022 chassis cabs, motorhome chassis. So this engine is also in motorhome chassis, and many different builders build motorhomes based on this.
Yeah.
Step vans are basically kind of like FedEx vans, like you saw in that video
Right.
image. And also 650 and 750 medium duty big trucks. These are big commercial box trucks or cranes doing such a thing. So, and it's only related to the gas engine,
Yes.
not a diesel.
Just the gas engine.
Yeah. So that's the communication. We wanted to correct that because, obviously we need to communicate the most correct information. And also I want to say, I have another thing. Ford had another recall. This was for F-350 specifically, where the payload was misstated.
Oh, no.
Do you remember this? This
Yes,
was in
yes, yes,
2021.
yes. Yeah, that was, yes.
Yeah, so also Toyota Tundra has misstated its payload recently. So this happens once in a while, but this would bother me more
Yeah.
if I lost 450 pounds.
That
of
that
payload.
is pretty significant. That's a whole different thing. But I want to point out something very important here with both Toyota and obviously Ford. I don't think they set out to
mislead
mislead anybody. I think this is technical information that came after the fact, where they had to make good on those numbers and let everybody know. I think that is a fair statement.
Yeah,
And,
and they're correcting it.
And they're correcting
Yeah,
it,
that's really important.
which is huge.
Yeah, and So yeah, we'll keep you guys informed. So thanks for joining us on this video, and check out oldtfl.com for all the latest news. Great news, and also sometimes not so
Not
great
so
news.
great news. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'll see you next time.